Morning, Jenny, how's it going?
Hey, it's good, Tracy.
Hey, I've been looking at this new Protracts program. Looks like a pretty good program. You know, it's so good that maybe we can get this done so well that we can have like an extra person in the office, and so that extra person go out in the field and do the field work like we're supposed to.
You know what? These 4 changes are great. We've got the ability to track 153s. It'll remind us when the 153s are going to be due. It reminds us when practices are due, and it gives us a heads up if no action has been made within 8 months. But the best thing is that it's based off the calendar year now. So I agree with you. It's going to be putting a lot more time in the field.
Probably a good idea, because most of the farmers, ranchers, they look at the calendar year anyway to get their things done.
Yep, that makes sense. So another thing I really see could help us is that on those people that are getting close to the end of their 12 months, and we might have to put a waiver in place, this is going to remind us ahead of time, and that gives them more time to get a solution in place, get something done, so they're not backed into the corner at the last minute when we realize and they realize, oops, 12 months is already here, we're going to have to put a waiver in place.
That would be an advantage for both the farmer and for us NRCS employees.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see a lot of people could benefit from that. So another thing I see is we probably will reduce the amount of terminations or cancellations we face because of that. If they know ahead of time, they can put better an action plan into place instead of kind of scrambling at the end. I see that a lot.
Sounds like a
The
good
thing
idea.
I see is a lot of these producers, they could care less about this fiscal year. They're not on a fiscal year, they're on the calendar year.
That's for sure.
And so a lot of these construction projects in our part of the country, and probably a good part of the United States, this is the heavy time of the year, the fall, putting things in after the growing season. And so with the fiscal year different from the calendar year, they're just very confused about that, and it makes things so much simpler to have it all in the calendar year, all on their schedule. Kind of makes sense to them. So it's really an easy process, and it gives it really kind of cut and dried for us. The 3 new buttons: one to notify us of the 153s, one when practices are upcoming, and the other when there's not been action on a contract within 8 months. So it's a pretty good working system, and it really reduces the steps a lot.
Also helps with the going to the calendar year rather than the fiscal year. We'll help out when the root, so we will have less root work to do too along with that.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And it's a simple process, and it's really clear in Protracts, and I think just the reduction in paperwork and in steps is going to help our field office a lot.
Less office work, the better.
Absolutely, get in the field.